Okay, so right now I want to film this to put everybody on the same page with respect to events and just Google Analytics and in general. So what's important here? What's one thing that actually that I'm looking at, which is very interesting. So these are our events. We can see here different events that have happened. One that we just set up, which is an ads conversion event, which is if somebody navigates to About Us, we have that currently set up as a conversion. Another one which is fired by the code, which is calculator contact, when somebody submits the lead form. Okay. I want to see who did this because currently they didn't correctly put in their email. And I can actually figure that out in a couple of different ways. One is that I can look at some information as to adding a comparison. So I'm going to add a comparison here, which I know that that event, sorry, let's go back here. I know that that event happened in the US, right? Why do I know that? Because if I click on this event, the last 7 days, and I click on when it happened, so this one was setting up event, but this is a real event. It happened on Monday. Monday is the 24th. Okay. Okay. So I can see it happened to the US. Cool. Great. Now, what else would I like to know? Well, I want to know what city it happened in. Okay. So it's going to be interesting. How am I going to find that? Well, I can see a little bit of information here, but I don't necessarily see events. This is my event view. What I can do is I can actually go back here to the overview and I can make sure that events are added as something on this report. So I can add a card. I can add users by city. And I can also say event count by event name. And that should be fine. So I'm going to add these two cards. Okay. They're going to show up here. Great. I'm going to save. Save the changes to the current report. Cool. So that's great. I'm going to go back here. These cards should now be added. So now I have a little bit more information. Okay, cool. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a comparison. So I'm going to say, well, I don't want every country. Sorry, not contains. I'm going to do exactly matches because I know that we're looking only at the US. So I'm just going to click the US here. Okay. And if I remove all users and just look at the US, then it's going to say the users by city. And now it's going to have the event names. Okay, interesting. So let's look at the cities here for a moment. Okay, so I have these cities. What if I said, instead of all events, I want to look at calculator contact? So just this one event. Now I want to see where it was. I can add 100. And now I see what city they were in. They were in Portland. Also, here's some cool information. Look how much time they were on the site for. They were on it for 7 minutes. And it looks like they came back too, which is very interesting. So I'd almost want to see more information about what people from Portland did since there was just one person. Okay, so now I know that they're from Portland. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to say not necessarily the demographics on just the city, but I also want to look at, okay, let's see. I had added it to this page here. Cool. So not just the country, I want to look at what's going on when the guy or gal is from Portland. What did that user do? They submitted a bunch of calculator answers. Okay, interesting. I don't see that they necessarily came back, but let's check. Okay, so they went there one day and they haven't returned yet. So you can see how we're doing this. And it's a couple different things. Obviously, now you can look to build funnels, and that's another thing. But this is just Crash, how to use and gather some basic analytics and insights on Google Analytics.